Abret, ASAP, EEG, big start. Questions and answers, 100% pass. Nyquist theory, heavy check mark, the specification of the minimum sampling rate used in relation to the highest frequency signal recorded. The sample rate must be twice that of the highest frequency to be recorded. For LFF, the corresponding time constants for LFF cutout frequency of 3 Hz would be under 0.05 seconds. The most prominent clinical feature of Dilantin toxicity? AOE ataxia. Ataxia, AOE, lack of muscle coordination. Agnosia, AOE, the inability to recognize familiar objects. Apraxia, AOE, inability to perform particular purposive actions as a result of brain damage. Diplopia, AOE, double vision. 1/4. Foramen of Monro, AOE, connects lateral ventricles to third ventricle. Foramen magnum, AOE, the brain connects to the spinal cord. Foramen of Luschka, heavy check mark, lateral aperture that connects fourth ventricle to subarachnoid space. Damage to the cerebral cortex, heavy check mark, motor weakness, paralysis, loss of sensation, impaired ability to understand and process language. Damage to Wernicke's area, heavy check mark, receptive aphasia, inability to understand words. Damage to Broca's area, heavy check mark, expressive aphasia, inability to produce language. Dysarthria, heavy check mark, slurred speech. Scotoma, heavy check mark, blind spot in vision. 2/4. Ohm's law, YOE. The current in a circuit equals the voltage difference divided by the resistance. V equals IR. Coulomb's law of YOE. Electric force between charged objects depends on the distance between objects and the magnitude of the charges. Gelastic seizures, heavy check mark, hypothalamic hamartoma. Brief periods of laughter. Symptoms of hemorrhagic stroke, heavy check mark, exploding headache, decreased level of consciousness. Numbness/weakness on one side, vomiting, stiff neck, nocal rigidity, which is also associated with meningitis. Symptoms of ischemic stroke, heavy check mark, numbness of face, arm, leg, especially on one side. Confusion, speech, seeing double or blurry. Visual disturbances, trouble walking, perceptual problems. Symptoms of subdural hematoma, heavy check mark, headache, lethargy, may show focal signs, may be asymptomatic. 3/4. Symptoms of subarachnoid hemorrhage, AOE, intolerance to light. Neck stiffness/pain. Empyema, AOE, pus in the pleural cavity. Depolarization, AOE, the process during the action potential when sodium is rushing into the cell, causing the interior to become more positive. Repolarization, AOE, return of the cell to resting state, caused by re-entry of potassium into the cell, while sodium exits the cell. Rolandic fissure, central sulcus, heavy check mark, fissure that divides frontal lobe from parietal lobe. Heschel's gyrus, heavy check mark, a superior temporal lobe gyrus that is located in the lateral fissure of each hemisphere, is the location of most of the primary auditory cortex. Anoxia, heavy check mark, no oxygen, powered by TCPDF, www.tcpdf.org. 4/4.